Hi, and welcome to the art room. I am Mrs. Bergman. I'm usually the teacher of this course, but I'm actually going to be out till about March 1st on maternity leave. So you have a wonderful sub who's going to walk you through the first part of this class. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So let me try this again. Welcome here. This room has got an awful lot of stuff in it, a lot of student work, a lot of other things going on. You are in a 3D art class. So what that means is that we are going to be physically building things. That's mostly in the second half of class. We're going to be doing some introductory level stuff in the beginning. We're going to talk about what art is, what's entailed in art, what counts as art. We are going to be talking about the elements and principles, mostly the elements, to kind of introduce you to the aspects and things that you need to incorporate into the things that you create in here. So let's get into it. I'm going to briefly describe the course. You have or should have the syllabus in front of you. You're going to need to read over that. Make sure you read it with your parents and guardians. That last sheet needs to be signed and returned. It is a grade because there are 2 questions on that syllabus that you need to answer that count for part of the grade. Okay, so make sure you get that done. Anyways, as far as how the class works, the class is going to come in 4 modes. I'm a gamer, I'm an animator. I love playing some video games. Games come in multiple different types of modes, PvE, PvP, etc. ad nauseum. This class comes in 4 modes. First mode is your bell ringer. That is how you come into the class every single day. First off, let me say, this door over here, on that side of the room, I'm pretty sure that video is going to be pointing in the right direction. This door over here, this is the in door. This is the only door that you're going to enter into this classroom. The door over there, that's out. We are blessed to have 2 doors. What that means, you're not going to run smack face into anybody trying to come in while you're trying to leave, or vice versa. Bonus. Okay? But anyways, when you walk into the classroom through that door, the very first thing you are automatically in bell ringer mode. You come in, your backpack goes under the table to conserve walking space, you get your composition notebook out, and you begin drawing. Yes, even in sculpting class, you are going to be drawing. Why? Drawing is a foundational skill that helps work on your guys' ability to observe detail. So we're going to be drawing. The second mode of this class is demonstration or presentation. This is when the teacher is teaching. So this will be when all of your presentations are done. This will be when any of the demonstration videos for projects are put up on the screen for you guys to observe. And that's how that's going to work. The third is studio time. We actually spend the majority of the class in studio time. What that is? Work time. It's time that you come in to get your work done. I am not actively teaching. The teacher is not actively teaching. You guys are simply completing the assignments. Okay? The last phase, and this is also every single day, is cleanup. In this class, it's going to be 5 to 8 minutes, the last 5 to 8 minutes of class, depending upon the materials that you are working with, where you pick up your mess, because nobody wants to clean up after you. You need to make sure that the caddies are put back the way they are supposed to be. There will be a separate video on that. That everything is in those caddies, that all the materials are turned in where they're supposed to be, and that the classroom is neat. This classroom needs to stay functional, which means things need to get put away properly. Now, the bell ringer mode, there's going to be a presentation that the substitute is going to be able to go through with you to kind of show you what this means. You can use whisper voices. This classroom gets very, very loud. It carries sound well. So you speak in a voice that only your table can really hear what you're saying. You guys are going to be working that entire time. Now, I do understand you're allowed to chit-chat. This is the art room. I am not a core class, so you're allowed to chit-chat as long as you're getting work done. We get to that point where work's not getting done, we're going to have to reevaluate these rules. You are not allowed to travel. You do not need to get up. You do not need to get materials. Everything that you need should be in the caddy for bell ringer, period. No exceptions. Your backpacks need to stay under the desk. These walking areas need to stay clear. And then when you come in, it doesn't matter who at the table. Someone needs to count the caddies and verify that all of the materials are there. There's a poster in the back corner that tells you everything that's supposed to be there. The only thing that is not going to be in your caddies is the soap. Everything else is present and accounted for. If something is missing, you need to notify the instructor immediately because it needs to be replaced, and we need to write down what class period lost it because I don't want to blame you guys for something that somebody else lost. In demonstration presentation, you are dead silent. If you have questions, write them down on a piece of paper and wait, because oftentimes the question will get answered if you just give it a sec. Patience, Padawans. Okay? So you're not allowed to talk. If you absolutely have to ask something, you raise your hand and wait to be called on. Raising your hand, Miss Bergman, Miss Bergman, Miss Bergman, or the substitute that's here, raising your hand and shouting out names? No. Mm-mm. That is rude and disrespectful. You will wait to be called on, okay? Whew. There's usually notes. You will have note sheets with fill in the blanks that you need to fill out for pretty much every presentation that we do. I usually bold the words in the presentation. It should be pretty obvious what goes in what blank. That's y'all's job. Miss a couple, they're up on Canvas. You get on Canvas, you get the stuff that you missed, fix it. They're all grades, so be wary. Now, here's the other part. For demonstration specifically, so if I'm demonstrating how to do something, do not follow along. Watch the video the whole way through, listen carefully to all of the instructions, then watch the video again. You can follow along the second time. The reason this is important is 9 times out of 10, you guys get so involved in what you're trying to do that you miss 2 or 3 steps, and then you're like utterly lost. Watch the video all the way through without trying to follow along first, always. Studio time. Guys, this is basic. This is you get to work. You can chit-chat and you can jaw-jack, but you need to make sure that you are accomplishing tasks. I schedule lots of time for you guys to get things done, and when it doesn't get done, that's on you, not me. I give you lots of time, okay? You should be working. You should be following through. I do not have access to computers in this classroom, so anytime that you miss notes or things like that, you can ask classmates for stuff that you're missing, or you can hop on Canvas in another class period, or you can hop on Canvas at home. It is phone accessible. You are allowed to get materials during studio time. So you are allowed to walk around. You are not allowed to socialize. If you're just meandering over from one desk to another and you're going to jaw-jack with this person over here, you're getting an infraction. That's obviously not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Okay? Cleanup time. Like I said, clean it up. Put things away. Put things in the workstations. Get the caddies put back together. Materials are returned to their proper location. This should be pretty no-brainer, guys. Those are the 4 main modes. As far as additional procedures, they're going to be on a slideshow for you. But when you come in quietly, not dead silent. You can talk, but for the love of all things, do not come in screeching like pterodactyls. You are not dinosaurs. Okay? Backpack's under the table. Your bell work, it'll be up every morning. You get that first week or so where you're not going to have it. Your composition notebook is required by week 2. Okay, so not this first week, not the first full week of school. The second is when you're going to have bell work, so you need to have that composition notebook. All the supplies that you need are going to be at the table. This is for the entire first half of the course. When I come back, we will be getting into all kinds of other things at that point, but everything you need right now is at that table. It needs to stay there. Do not take things out of this class. Class notebook. You are going to have your composition notebook daily, every single day. If there's anyone in this class who has had me before, ask them. Does she use it every day? Yes. That was a lot more extreme than I thought it was. Yes, we're going to use it every day. Make sure you have it with you. It is your responsibility. Tardy, I told you, if you're not in your seat when that bell rings, you're late to class. Make sure you are in here on time. I am dead center in campus. That means I'm probably the easiest class to get to no matter where you're coming from. You don't really have an excuse. Makeup work. Guys, this is actually really no-brainer. When an assignment is due, it will be entered as a 0 in the gradebook if you don't have it turned in. Okay? Period. If you do not have it turned in on time, because I generally give you about 2-3 weeks to accomplish tasks. I'm not giving you a short amount of time. If you don't have it in on time, it's going to be a 0. That said, I only have I have 2 hard deadlines in the course of a semester. One is for first quarter, one is for second quarter. And they're usually about a week before grades are due. For y'all, that just happens to coincide pretty well with March 1st. So my day back is the day that everything needs to be in. If you do not have it in to me by that date, I do not take it for first quarter, which means it will not be on the gradebook and it will remain a 0. But if you miss a due date, if something is due if something is due February 12th, and you do not have it in by February 12th, it'll be a 0 in the gradebook until you get it into me. But you can get it in until that hard deadline of March 1st. So the day I come back, you better have it ready and turned in. Speaking of turning in, there's one location for things to be turned in at. Well, okay, for y'all there's two, actually, because 3D art. Over there against the wall, you will see a series of metal shelves. There are 5 bins in each shelf. They are color-coded to match the tables. Look up. Every single table has an assigned color. Your caddies also match that. The bins over there match that. The things that you have to turn in, you have a couple of papers to turn in. You have some worksheets. Worksheets will go in the shelves that are above the gray drawers off to the side by the door. They're labeled by class period. Make sure you put your stuff in the right class period. Composition notebooks, those will be taken as well and graded. They are on the table. If you look at the second dark wood table, it's divided by class period. Obviously, you put your books in nice, neat stacks in the proper class location. Those bins are for 3D artwork. You have 2 assignments that you're going to have to, two assignments and 2 projects that you're going to have to complete. One is Wacky Creatures. There's going to be a demonstration video for that. And one are these mobiles that are above your head. You're going to be doing one. You're going to work with your table group to make one for your table. You will have a square and a diamond to create, and then all of you will create the mobile. So it's going to be 2 project grades. I'm actually going through my notes at the same time. So turning in the work, all that. Water, bathroom. The only time you are allowed is during studio time. Not during presentations, not during demonstrations, because you need to watch that whole video. Only during studio time are you allowed to go to the bathroom. You need to raise your hand. You will sign it out, first name and last name, on the clipboard. The stub will have that in a location where you need to sign that out in pen. You will take the bathroom pass, and it will be returned. There's only 3 students going per class period. Okay? Food and drink. No. No. Art materials have this horrible, horrible habit of attracting roaches. The last thing we want, I mean, unless you're really interesting, the last thing we want in the art room is more things to attract bugs. There is no food, there is no drink outside of water, and there's no gum allowed in this class. Please abide by that rule. Cell phones, not a chance, not permitted. If they're seen, they're confiscated. Okay? So don't bring it in there. They're supposed to be off on campus. Whew, so that's the class in a nutshell. That was a lot of everything. I'm trying to brief it up so it's not too long, and 13 minutes seems like it's long enough. We will go to the other stuff and talk about it later. So I hope you guys have a great year. No promises on how long it's going to take to email me if you have any questions, but I will try to get back to y'all. Excuse me. Other than that, I'll see you March 1st. Have fun.